Hey, good morning, and I hope you guys are doing amazing. So, we're back finishing up at the tail end of our sci fi book. I hope you guys had a great week, great start to the week at least, and hopefully we can knock out a good deal of stuff today. It'll probably be a relatively short stream as we're nearing the end, and I want to save stuff for us to knock out on Friday. I've got chat up. Want to say thank you guys for hanging out, being amazing. Um, Currently, we're going to be in chapter 23, and so I'm going to click this up. Should kick it off. We wrapped up back here with Sam being infected. Now, Sam's infected with the Zarkran's virus, which is like a modified version of a zombie virus. It's actually a ghoul virus. He's retained the entirety of his intelligence, and well, basically, this is at the very first aftermath of him being infected. Um, he has already killed some people or bitten them. He is being guarded, and we'll kick it off there. So, as I lay there, I knew my body had healed. But now the brightness of the room's light was dreadful. Oren and Salvador seemed to have drifted off to sleep. I felt the room's control system. So at this point, we're going to have him having near field abilities. Um, Technopathic abilities. Techno. In all honesty, we're gonna probably make this a little bit better right here too. And I actually think that I need to go back a little bit and make sure that we have this back here a little bit better qualified. Let me go one, two, boom. Let's shoot up here to where he's messing around and stalking these guys. Okay, I found myself moving to the one, oh wait, to one of their doors. And all my almost like instinct connected to the ship's systems. I began by lowering all of the lighting in the corridor and the room on the other side of the door. So at this point, we've established that he can go in with his technopathic abilities and and tamper with stuff. And so he's no longer going to need, by the way, the rest of this book it won't matter because he's about to not need it anyway because he's not going to be around technology for a second. But reality wise, this is where we're giving him, which will be in all the rest of the books, book 2 and 3, he'll no longer need to have access to his cyber deck, basically. Okay, as I lay there, I knew my body had healed, but now the brightness of the room's light was dreadful. Oron and Salvador seemed to have drifted off to sleep. I felt the room's control systems as I now reached out using my technopathic abilities. Something about the virus, oh, virus, isn't virus just like that? Virus, yep, was allowing me to push myself far beyond my normal limitations. I found myself slowly adjusting the lights until the room was totally dark. The force is. Wait, the force. What the crap am I talking about? There's no force. The virus seemed to have unlocked my potential, allowing me to connect to the ship. Easier than ever, and without my um, cyber deck. Forgot the B in there. Boom. I don't think we need this part. And maybe I'm wrong to remove that. Who knows? We'll find out. The darkness was comforting. I could still see unusually well. Honestly, the wording on that's going to change probably in revision 3. The silence allowed me to finally relax, even able to calm the other two infected men. Then Brandon came in, panicking, and turned on the lights, which now stung my eyes with um with their brightness. That's the brightness. Now filling the room. Wake up! What are you doing? They plan to kill Sam and you and the other two, he said in a jumbled mess, sorry guys. Oren was quick to his feet. Sam must have taken control of the lights after we fell asleep. What do you think we should do? We can't just let them kill Sam. I had relief at the fact that my friends were concerned the crew wanted to kill me, but no real answers. Brandon looked worried as he looked at me, saying, I checked the systems and we will be passing by another planet soon. The information was old, but it was a livable colony at one point. We could get you off the ship using the escape pod. I nodded in agreement to the plan. Salvador moved quickly on double check that we have sound. I always worry about that. Salvador moved quickly to my bed where I was strapped down. Sam, I'm gonna unstrap you. Are you in control of yourself enough not to bite me? Or should we just let the crew take care of this? I had regained control of myself. I did not know for how long or to what extent, but I said, I'm good. I will not attack anyone. Oren and Salvador unstrapped me and got me to my feet. As Brandon as Brandon opened the door and glanced down the corridor to make sure it was clear. We moved quickly down the corridor to the section of the ship where the escape pods were located. Oren pulled his plasma pistol and handed it to me along with a couple of extra energy cells, saying, I hope you don't need this, but just in case, really hope you're okay down there. Then Brandon smiled, saying, I hope to see you again one day before they stepped away, closing the hatch. Every minute I wasted would put my life and theirs at risk, so I quickly pulled the pod's release lever, jettisoning it from the ship. The pod shook violently as it blasted itself from the ship. I could see the planet not far off and began hoping the ship would not waste its time turning back to destroy the escape pod. I quickly started confirming the information for the emergency landing protocol, which I watched, waiting to see if the ship would blast me. The thrusters kicked in, and I began to move towards the planet. It was a mix of green and blue on the side facing the sun. As the escape pod got closer, I could tell I would have been landing on the side of the planet still at night. I felt the gravity take control as the pod began descending onto the planet. It looked like I would be landing in a forest region, near a lake. As the ship sped, and I don't know if that's the correct sped, towards the ground, the thruster worked to slow the pod. As the pod landed, it was impossible to see at first from the smoke. I gathered myself and checked the plasma pistol and waited for the hatch to release. So, in all honesty, I feel on Friday we're going to be able to knock out the rest of this. I'm going to put Rory hanging out in the room with everybody else. Or Brandon and Rory. Brandon and Rory. Or, you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to add in something. Okay, I checked the system, blah, blah. Ever Okay, so I feel that that's where we're at on that. I know that this is super, super short. Um, we could probably, I really want to keep the other two chapter or the other four chapters for Friday. And so I'm not really sure how much we can do to this without messing with it a bunch. We have this much to do on Friday, and in all honesty, for the most part, I'm super happy with the end. I mean, like, I don't have any issues with our finish off. And so what I think we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually just have a super short stream today, and I know that that's probably awkward for some of you guys. It's a little awkward for me having this short of a stream, but reality wise, I only wanted to touch up chapter 23 a little bit, and the last four chapters, the entire part with the Vikings and stuff like that, I want to knock out on Friday. So we're going to leave it off as him being ejected from the ship. He's on the pod. We'll start off on Friday right here. And so that's super short. I know it probably shocks you guys. Um, we'll actually conclude revision 2 on Friday, which should be awesome. We have a 132 page book right now, guys. That's pretty good. And it'll get bigger through the revisions. And so that's a pretty exciting deal. Real quick, I'm going to find somebody that we can raid onto just because I like to try to share the love. I know that this was super short. I do appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for just hanging out, to be honest. Let's see if we have somebody under Let's Do the Writing. Okay, that's a solid no. Let's see if there's anybody under writers. I'm gonna hit Tiger Writes today. I actually think he's super friendly, nice guy. He seems to enjoy writing his I don't know what this is called. Um Sci-fi. I get no his fantasy. His is para fantasy. I would consider his writing style para fantasy. He's usually back. He does writing runs and then runs this for a second. You guys, I'll see you on Friday. Stay epic.